You know, it's actually something that happened very naturally. I always say that this thing came to me. I believe it's like someone who brings you a gift, and then he gives you some tools, and there are certain signs. You just have to know how to read them, and then everything else just happened, you know.
Hi, I'm Angela Henry with Reelblack TV, and we are at the Young Friends Society Festival at World Cafe Live. Actually, we are on your tour bus, Ayo. Beautiful name. Beautiful name. I understand it has a special meaning. Could you talk about that?
The meaning of my name, actually, it's a Yoruba name. It's a language that they speak in Nigeria, one of many languages that they speak in Nigeria, and it means joy. They say one day. The thing with me is that I'm not really from any place in particular, but my dad, he's from Nigeria, West Africa, and my mom, she's a gypsy. She was born in Germany, but gypsies, they're born all over the places, but they don't have a country. She's a Roma. Yeah, and I'm the very mix of that. Nigerian gypsy, born and raised in Germany.
So could you talk a little bit about your debut album, Joyful?
Basically, I recorded that record like about 2 years ago at the Sony studio in New York in 5 days. All the songs were, I wrote all of the songs, and I never wrote the songs to put them on a record. It was more like a journey, everything that I created while I was on that journey, and then I got the chance to make a record out of it. So it's my debut record is a record, a very personal record about my life. Sadness covers my eyes, but there's still some room to see the truth behind the lie.
So going through your album, going through your music, it sounds like a lot of it has been influenced by family.
My father is the person in my life that has always been there for me, and he was alone with 4 kids. I'm the youngest of 4 because my mom became heroin addicted when I was 5 years old. And my father was the one to feed me with music, you know. All the knowledge that I have about music comes from my dad, because he was a DJ in the 70s, and when I was 13 he passed his vinyls on to me. So today they're mine, and he would listen at home. He would always play the good music like Stevie Wonder, Jimmy Cliff, Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Fela Kuti, Pink Floyd, Paul Stanley. Where would I be today without you? Being there for me all my life. What would I do today without you? Taking care of me all the time. Where would I...
So the music just seems so varied, and I think that's how your music has come to be the way that it is.
In order for them to understand it, they want to, first of all, they want to know what kind of music it is that you play. When they ask me, I can never really say what it is. I always say it's very personal. And then yeah, but what is it like? Is it R&B, soul, hip-hop, or this or that? And then I always say it's soul, reg, fro, folk, which is like soul, reggae, afro, and folk. That's what it is for now, but maybe one day it's going to be, the word is going to get bigger and bigger, because I can't really name it, because my music is just like me, you know. I'm mixed. I'm not just one thing. Just like I said to you in the beginning, that it's difficult to say where I'm from, because I'm from many different places. There's a lot of stuff in me, and it's a melting pot. I have to say that when I was 13, I already wrote my own songs, but that was like, those were bad songs. I say it was bad because I had a lot to say, but I couldn't say it. I was not ready to talk about those things.
You always looking for a scapegoat, like everything is their fault, and never ever you gon' say maybe I did mistakes. You act.
When I was 20, I decided to leave Germany, and then I went to London to live there for a year, to be on my own and to be able to stand on my own feet, even though it wasn't easy because I didn't really have money and all that, but it was a good experience. So before I left, I bought myself a guitar, and on that guitar I started writing my songs, and it was actually the first time in my life that I started opening up about my life and all that. It was more like a therapy, something that I had to do for myself to become a better person, you know.
So when you were doing this, it was really just for yourself. Were you thinking this is going to be a double platinum album in France? You know, this is what I want to do?
I never thought it was going to be double platinum, or I don't know, like, I never thought about the success. To me, I thought about the success in a different way. To me, it was a way to be free. I bought myself a guitar because I felt like, get yourself a guitar. And the moment I started playing this guitar, I mean, today I only played the guitar for 5 years, and it's my first instrument today. I played the piano before, but I guess it was meant to be, you know. So this guitar talks to me, and I can talk to this guitar. It's like a conversation.
But one thing that I definitely see or hear through music is the ability or the quality to heal, specifically Down on My Knees. Can you talk about that song at all?
Down on My Knees was actually the song that I wrote. This song was actually like one of the main reasons why I then decided to leave Germany, when that was the last kick kind of for me to say, okay, I'm gonna go, because nothing is really holding me here. Because I used to live in Hamburg. There was like a city, at that time it was like a big city for me, you know, because I've never been to New York at that time, so I was like in Hamburg, 5 hours away from my father, 5 hours on the train, which was, to me, it was like quite a distance. And the city was not for me, you know. Everything went wrong, and people that didn't really, people that I worked with, they didn't really understand me. They were like, let's turn it into the next reggae artist. And so I refused the deal. I refused to sign a deal there. At that time, my boyfriend broke up with me as well. But it was never like a boyfriend. You know, I was like interpreting too much into this relationship, you know. Today I think that it was just like I was really in love and all that. And my boyfriend, he wasn't really, because he was an artist as well. And he was on his, not to say on his peak, because at that time he wasn't really, but he was quite like into himself being a musician and all that, you know. That's how men can be, like, really, you know, it's not always about sharing and all that. At that time he was very arrogant in a way, and he didn't leave me for another girl, but it was a very personal story. And I wrote that song because I wanted to write down how I really felt that day, because when he broke up with me, I was like, yeah, I think it's very good. I mean, it's anyway, it was over already, and it's been over for a while, and it's good like that. It's out, and you do your thing, I do mine. I was acting really tough. I was very stubborn and very proud, but it was wrong to be like that, because I was not only like that in that relationship. I was like that in general.
You were more precious to me than my own life. And down on my knees, I'm begging you.
I had a hard time showing weakness, you know. I thought showing emotions would be weak, being weak, and I didn't want to be weak because I had to fight for everything in my life. So, but then I learned that with that song I let go of a lot of things, and I started to show how I really felt. And today we have a son together, and we are fine, you know. We're
with the same person.
With the same person. Our ways, they crossed again, and here we are today, you know.
So you all moved to New York. So now you're here. You've toured with Babyface, and but 5-10 years from now, you know, what are your hopes? What do you hope is gonna be for Ayo?
I hope that I'm still gonna be able to play music, and that I'm gonna be healthy, and that I'm gonna be down to earth, and that there will be only good people around me, and that I can still enjoy my freedom, my musical freedom, and that I'm gonna be a mother of not only one child. I want to have more kids, and you know, I want to have a little bit of my mind. My focus is not only on my career, you know, because to me it's not. It became a career, but it's more my life, because I'm not writing for the success, you know. I'm writing. My success is my family, my happiness, my balance, and all that. So I believe that certain things, they come to us, and that's how the music came to me. Maybe my dad, he brought it to me a little bit. Just that was the first sign, and I say someone gave me that sign. I believe in God, but I don't want to name God. You know, I believe in a higher spirit, and I believe it's that spirit that brought all those things to me, and that keeps on bringing me stuff. But it's on me to read those signs and to make something out of it.